Hey, and welcome to today's men's mental health journal. As I'm finishing writing down something as I start this recording. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Still, things are popping up for me, but I just had a really great podcast interview. In fact, I was the guest on someone's podcast, which was really cool. It's really cool how sometimes opportunities come your way when you do things and they just come out of nowhere. And this has actually given me opportunities to go and mentor more people on podcasting, which is really, really cool. I'm conscious I'm making YouTube, and anyone watching this is like, you haven't got a massive YouTube following. No, I don't, but I've got millions of downloads on the podcast. So that's really cool. But these are all about raw vulnerability and emotion, these videos. So I just want to share a couple of things that have been working for me in terms of my mental health. Yeah, like the biggest thing, and I keep sharing this, that's kind of keeps coming up is dating and relationships and it not working out with someone. And yeah, I want to share it, and I share it regularly because I think it's important to just share that even though it doesn't have to be a massive long relationship or anything serious, that something can impact you. And it's not about like going at the other person, which I certainly haven't, and I've walked away and all that kind of thing. But sometimes it can trigger off other things for you, the situation, even though it seems very surface level. And for me, if I'm being quite honest, I felt a little bit of heartbreak, which sounds crazy, even though it was only a couple of months of knowing this girl, this woman. And she was very, very special, I found, but obviously not the one for me because it wasn't meant to be, which is I was gutted about because it was going really, really well. And that's something I've had to accept and deal with. But that's kind of the thing that even though I've been doing really well in my career, really well in business, got lots of things to look forward to, which is I'm really on mission and purpose at the moment and being creative. And I've definitely got my energy back from when I made my first set of videos. That it still can get to me a little bit, so I'm really working through that. Just being raw and honest. Yeah, it's just when you meet someone really, really special and it looks really promising and doesn't work out. That of course is going to give you that little bit of heartbreak. Not like I was in love or anything, but it's like, yeah, when you've got an expectation in your head, which you shouldn't have expectations, but you can get carried away with it, I guess. But yeah, I was listening, so kind of that leads me on to my tips really. And like I've been sharing, it's not so much about it not working out and being heartbroken, but like there are certain things in my life, like jobs and redundancies I've had in the past, business challenges, financial challenges that have set off my emotions, and yeah, set off my emotions. Whereas have emotions, but got me into like some dark places, and sort of felt depression in my life. I've certainly felt it in the last 2 weeks. At certain points, felt really, really depressed at certain points. But then getting back to what I do and who I am really lights that energy back. Like being this top podcast host, I do say so myself, and doing things like going to events I'm looking forward to, getting back into my socials, seeing people, even though it's hard, like being sober now. It's beneficial. Certainly the next day, these things are really helping. But yeah, like I was. So if I'm honest, like earlier I was feeling really crap this morning. I was feeling really sad about not being able to go on another date with this person. And then just sometimes like general hopelessness of life, even though you've got a very good life. I also had a like one-to-one with my like mastermind leader yesterday, and he's running a challenge, and he's very good, great being, beautiful human being, very driven man. But he's a very kind of like buy me energy, like you got to fight everything, you got to keep going. And there's a part of that which I need, like it's get out of your head and stop, thinking too much. And I'm usually a go-getter, but he challenged me to quite a bit. But there's parts of me that I do need to sit with my emotions as well as taking action. And I don't think he gives enough of that. But different people have different things, so it's always you got to feel into things, what's right for you at the time. But yeah, this morning I was listening to a lot of like Matthew Hussey and Jay Shetty and Mel Robbins, and mainly Matthew Hussey, who's a dating expert. He used to be mainly for women, but he helps guys as well now. Fellow Brit, and I'd love to have him on the podcast. Actually, I might reach out again. But yeah, basically, he was talking about breakups and all these kind of things. And now I wasn't in this wasn't a relationship, certainly wasn't a relationship or anything like that. But sometimes when I feel like when I haven't had like a situation like this since 2019. And again, I'm being very open and raw. Like there's every chance that one of the girls, I've dated many girls, but and or like short-term relationships or dating or whatever, but like, and then dated a lot of girls. So there's a chance someone might watch this, and I'm totally fine with that because I'm not a hidden person. But obviously, I won't share anyone's personal details or anything like that, unless they want me to, but they wouldn't. But yeah, like 2019, I had a case where I had this real closeness with someone, and she was amazing. And we met. It's very short time. Went on a couple of dates together. Had a really close time. We were really close, but unfortunately, she moved country. As I met her, typical timing. That kind of sums up my relationship life, really. Although obviously, I believe there's some part of me that I need to sort out, and I hadn't. From like a non-relationship point of view, I hadn't been impacted as much from this recent situation as I had been those years ago. Many times, I've dated and it's not worked out of a girl. And I'm usually all right. Like a week or so later, like it's like, man, we're meant to be, could kind of see that coming. Even last year, I was dating someone for a couple of months and it's like, she came up with an excuse, but I knew she just lost interest and that was fine. But yeah, like this case, like I haven't been this impacted by someone I wasn't in a relationship with, but I only dated short term since 2019. Probably the two biggest impacts I've had, because in the short time, I've realized you can get if you can build real strong connection, that can create a lot of chemistry and attraction, and then you feel like it's going somewhere. Just take it away. Certainly for me, with my wounds and things like that, and things I've gone through, I know we're all the same. That's kind of what pissed me off in my conversation yesterday, because he just was like, "Oh, you're not the only person who's gone through this." That's not really the fucking point. But yeah, like I was listening to this like heartbreak stuff, like it's mainly about relationships, but they also did say you could be like dating someone for a month or two, and you also can get heartbroken and really hurt if you really like that person. You feel like it's really progressing even into a next date, like kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And I was like, why am I getting so like impacted by like knowing someone for like 2-3 months and then going on a couple of dates and really great dates? And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's like your mind goes, oh, that's stupid, but then like your heart's like, oh, I really like this person. So and I felt like listening to these guys really helped me. So that's number one. If you're going for a challenge, listen to people on like YouTube and podcasts. That can really, really help. The second thing I've really actually picked up from that is really live things that you're passionate about and you like. And Matthew Hussey was talking about this. I haven't listened to Matthew Hussey for ages, but I just decided to because he gives some very good guidance. And like I say, he used to just help women with dating, but he's helping guys as well, it feels like. But yeah, like really focus on your passions. And I've been on like podcasts. I've been on Interactive PR. I was interviewing an amazing guest earlier on sales. And I'm like, I want to get back into remote sales. I love doing sales at the time, and I'm going to contact some people straight after this. But having a passion and focus on something is really, really meaningful. And then the third thing I've found really helpful is looking forward to something. So I've got something tomorrow. I'm going to travel to London. I'll be in London this time tomorrow, hopefully in the hotel. And I'm really excited about that because I'm going to like a healing event. Although I'm a little bit nervous, I might bump into someone I know and I'm going to be very vulnerable and open. But I'm open to that, you know, in a live event at Tanning Morale. Um, and I've got a diamond ticket, so at least I get hands on advice from him as well, and dinner with him. So that's really cool. Even though it broke the bank, it didn't break the bank. That's an exaggeration, but you know, um, yeah. So having something, and then I've got a retreat in Spain in September. So yeah, just listening to the right stuff, things that could really help. Having a passion, getting like focused on that, not just focused all my energy on like that didn't work out, that relationship, not relationship in this case, but like that dating situation didn't work out when I really liked someone. Not just draining all my energy into that, into my passions as well, and then just looking forward to something. Really, really, those things are helping me mentally. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you today. And yeah, I'm going to crack on and reach out to a load of companies about remote sales now. So speak to you soon.